Hi guys, it's Mrs. Cavalier again. So you should have a worksheet now that says quotient rule practice. Again, we're going to do the odd ones together and then you'll do the even ones for practice. On the board, you'll notice that the rules are written. We're on rule number 2. So now when we divide like bases, we're going to subtract exponents. So let's look at number 1. We have w to the 5th divided by w to the 2nd. Our base is w, and we subtract exponents. So 5 minus 2 is 3. And you don't have to write this down, but this is why it works. So the top says w times w times w times w times w, because we have w to the 5th over w to the 2nd. So we just finished practicing this. You should know that when you have w to the 5th, that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then w to the 2nd, there's 2. Well, if you think about it, what happens when you have a number divided by itself? So let's say 4 divided by 4, that's 1. So the same thing works here. W divided by w is 1. Well, again, w divided by w is 1. And we know when we multiply by 1, nothing really changes, nothing happens. So we're left with 3 w's, w to the 3rd, essentially times 1, but that's not going to change anything. So this is why it works. So this is what you're doing, but instead of writing all this out every single time, we came up with the rule: when you divide like bases, subtract your exponents. So let's try 3. N to the 4th over n squared. Again, we have our like base of n. We're just going to subtract exponents instead of writing it out like this. So 4 minus 2 is 2. If it helps you to write it out like that and cancel while you're learning and you need that visual and that practice, do it. Do what works for you. Okay, but I'm just going to use the rule, subtract my exponents. Number 5. Okay, this time we have 15 to the 10th and 15 to the 4th. Okay, here my base is 15. Subtracting that, I get 6. So this is my answer. A lot of times when you do this, you think, well, 15 divided by 15 is 1. This problem does not say 15 divided by 15. It says 15 10 times divided by 15 4 times. If you're talking money, 15 times itself 10 times is much different than just 15 over 15. So then that would cancel, that would cancel, that would cancel, that would cancel, and I'm left with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So understand, this does not say 15 divided by 15. It looks tricky, but our exponent is 10 and 4, so we just subtract those exponents. This is our answer. 7, we're going back to variables. B to the 9th over B to the 4th. Write it out like this if you have to. If not, 9 minus 4 is 5. Number 10, so this one is like I don't want to do 10, I want to do 9. 9 says c to the 10th over c to the 6th. My base is c. 10 minus 6 is 4. 11. 11 to the 9th over 11 to the 7th. We get our base of 11. 9 minus 7 is 2. Okay, now 13 is different. We have numbers and variables. Remember when we first started talking about this, we specifically said a base was a number with an exponent. A base was a number with an exponent. So if you look at this, you can break it into 2 parts. Here I have 24 divided by 6. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Now I look at my like bases. Okay, that's what number 2 on the marker board, the rule says, divide like bases, subtract exponents. So my like base is m, my exponent is 5. So notice the difference between 13 and 11 or 5. Okay, it's 2 parts here. This is our base. On 11 and 5, the number was our base, but that's because it had an exponent. Here, these numbers do not have exponents, so we just use them like we normally would. 15, same idea as 13. We have those numbers, and then we have our variables with the exponent. So I'm going to break it into 2 again. 8 divided by 2 is 4. We have this guy with an exponent and this guy with an exponent. Since that's a like base, b is my base. 5 minus 3 is 2. Okay, this is the last one I'm going to do with you, and then you're on your own for practice. Again, we'll give you about 15 minutes. You'll do the even ones, and then the sub will go over the answers with you. Then you have one more video, one more rule. As you can see on the board, we have the 3 rules you have to go over. Breaking it into the 2 parts again. 28 divided by 7 is 4. Z to the 7th divided by z to the 5th. My base is z. 7 minus 5 is 2. If you need to rewind this, go through it again, just because that was kind of fast. Feel free to do that. Do what works for you, and then do the practice on your own.